there is called the baby stretch, and tell you what, all the neighbors walking by with the dogs must be thinking, what is this cat up to, eh? But that stretch, it's the money, eh? I really like it. Give it a go. Ah, guys, I tell you what, it is good to be home, shooting a video again from the garage gym. Obviously the last 3 or 4 videos I've been on the road, catching up with Maddie Sturt during the last chance qualifier and documenting Jay Crouch doing some games prep. If you haven't watched those videos, go and watch them. There's some really good quality stuff in there. Those 2 athletes are so professional, but then you have Rob Forte as the coach, who's just a legend. There's such great coaching nuggets in those videos. So yeah, do yourself a favor, go and watch those videos after this one. I was just on the Concept 2 bike erg doing my 20-minute HWPO average wattage test, and I was watching the Buttery Bros video where they were catching up with Sonny Webster, and he gave them a barbell complex to try. It was the Buttery Bro complex. I believe it was 1 full clean, 1 squat clean from the hang, 1 back squat, 1 front squat, and 1 jerk.
Okay, so we're going to go over the complex that you've self-designed for us bros.
Yeah, so we're calling it the Buttery Bros Barbell Complex from Sonny.
I wanted to keep this silky because obviously the name's Buttery Bros, so this movement is going to be pretty spicy. So we've got the clean, straight down to the hang clean, straight over the back to the back squat, back up to the front for the front squat, and then any jerk you want. But it all has to be done with a squat lift.
And I thought, you know what? I've got nothing else to do today. I only had the 20-minute bike test. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a nudge. Okay, here we go. I've been warming up. I should have probably recorded my 100. I just did a 100 and I'm not sure if I've got any more in me. So I've got 105 on the bar. It'll be a miracle if I get it. Why? Whew. That's what they call cardio lifting. Oh, the old jerk, eh? 105. What? Up we go, 110. The last time I shot a video in the office, there were a few comments about Spike, the bearded dragon, the lizard, and you guys wanted to see him, so here he is. He's losing his skin at the moment, and he gets these little pieces of skin in his nose, and I've got to pick him out with tweezers, and it's the most satisfying thing, just opening his nostrils so he can breathe again. He's 6 months, so he's probably about halfway to full size, so he's gonna be a big boy. Okay, let's put you back, eh? Let's put you back. Okay, CrossFit, let's talk CrossFit. We are 3 weeks out from the CrossFit Games, and I thought today, let's just talk about some of the biggest things that have happened. I haven't really covered any kind of news topics in the space over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So let's just attack the most talked about, the most prominent issues, and number 1 has to be all the drug fails that have happened in the last little while. I believe we're up to 14 failed drug tests, and that consists of 4 individuals, all on the male side, and the other 10 must be mostly out of teams, maybe some masters and teams, I'm not sure. But if you follow all the CrossFit media channels, it might seem like it is a bigger problem this year than it's ever been, because it's getting so much coverage, and I feel like everything is under a fine comb, way more so now than ever before. According to Brian Friend on the Sevan podcast, back in 2018, there were 17 total drug fails at regionals, which is more than what we currently have at 14. So I'm not sure how the other years compare, but it might just be that at the moment, it's just so much more scrutiny around the subject. So what do you think? Do you think this is a rising issue in the sport? Do you think it's growing and a growing issue? Or do you think it's always been like this? We just haven't had the media coverage that we have now. I think that I'm extremely naive, is that the right word? When it comes to this stuff. I just want to believe the best in everyone. And for many years I was like, nah, there's no drugs in CrossFit, especially not the top guys. They're all natural, they're all, and I'm having my beliefs challenged and shattered a little bit by all of this happening. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think it's always been an issue or not? And you know what? They should really just have a freak show CrossFit Games, maybe even a freak show Olympics, I reckon. Just see what the body is capable of with a bit of extra juice in it, Just have two separate competitions, a natural and a freak show. I reckon that's the way to go. That'll be a bit of fun. Let's talk about something more positive, and that is the Reebok bonus program. Last year at the CrossFit Games, Reebok introduced this bonus program for athletes wearing Reebok shoes while winning an event. If you won an event, I believe you got $10,000 US if you won an event and you were wearing Reeboks. When you win an event at the CrossFit Games, you also get $3,000 from the CrossFit Games themselves. This year, Reebok is paying out $12,000 for an event win for anyone wearing Reebok, and then that person will also get $3,000 from the games. That means $15,000 US for winning an event when you're wearing Reeboks. This is such a great initiative, a bit of guerrilla marketing from Reebok, and it just shows that Reebok is still interested in supporting athletes, and they're still involved in the CrossFit space. And I wish more brands would do stuff like this to try and reward athletes at the CrossFit Games, because these athletes actually have to pay an entry fee to be at the CrossFit Games. I find that embarrassing that these the top male and top female athletes in our sport still have to pay an entry fee to go to the CrossFit Games. Doesn't make sense to me, but nevertheless they have to, and so things like this really helps. I do wonder about athletes who are sponsored by other shoe companies like Nike or NOBULL or Tier, and whether those companies communicate anything to these athletes about the Reebok bonus program, whether they support them in changing out their shoes for those events they feel like they can win, or whether they actually say to their athletes, there is no way you're wearing Reebok, you wear our shoes. I wonder how that conversation goes down. You would hope that a brand would say, you know what, go for it. If you think you can win that event, wear the Reeboks, get the money. And actually, I don't know, because if that athlete wins the event, there's a bunch of photos and video of that happening. And as a brand, if I'm sponsoring an athlete, I'd probably want them to be wearing my shoes. So maybe it's fair enough for a brand to say no Reeboks, even if you are winning the event. So if you're a Reebok athlete, this is great. And if you don't have any other affiliation with any other shoe companies, this is also great. And not only are they paying out the individuals, but also the teams, the adaptive division, the teams. So yeah, the takeaway here is that Pat Vellner and Brent Fikowski will be making a lot of money this year at the CrossFit Games. But Reebok, good job. I love it. On the topic of brands and sponsorship and apparel, NOBULL have just announced that this year will be the very first year where they will give athletes a $20 kickback for every replica jersey that is sold with their name on it. Now the catch is that you won't be able to purchase the replica jerseys of every athlete in the field. In fact, there's only 15 individual names and then 2 teams. And there's been a bit of negative feedback towards this, saying that NOBULL should be including everyone and everyone should have the opportunity to make some more money based off these jerseys. And I can understand where people are coming from, but what you have to realize is that NOBULL, they're not a Nike, they're not an Adidas or a Reebok. They are very much still a small business in the space. And you can look at the games and all the amazing stuff they're doing and think, man, they must be killing it. And I remember as a CrossFit gym owner, I used to call it coaches math. My coaches would look at how many members I have, do the math on what they're paying and go, man, this guy must be a millionaire, must be making so much money. But they don't see behind the curtain all the expenses and what things cost. And so it's really hard to understand what the challenges really are for NOBULL to make this happen. And so Todd from NOBULL was actually on the Morning Chalk Up show, and he was talking about the intention of having every athlete represented with the replica jerseys. And this is just the first step towards that. So I think they want the same thing that we want, is to be able to see every athlete, you know, be able to make some money off their jerseys. But at the moment, I guess the reality is they can't be printing thousands of shirts with a name on it that doesn't sell, and then they sit with those jerseys after the fact. They obviously are running a business, so you can kind of see it from both sides. And I think if you take a step back, the overall situation is positive. Last year, this did not happen. This year, at least, there's some athletes that'll be making some money, and hopefully going forwards, there'll be more and more. In fact, on the NOBULL website, you can go and vote for the athletes that you want to see jerseys of, and that's going to help them gauge you know, what to print going forwards. But currently they've got 7 athletes of their own that they already sponsor. Those are Justin Medeiros, clair-toomey, Mel O'Brien, we've got Brooke Wells, O'Connell, Rail, and Sam Dancer in the Masters division. So those are athletes they already sponsor. And then for the non-NOBULL athletes, they have Patrick Vellner, Noah Olsen, Brent Fikowski, they've got Laura Horvath, they've got Guy Malheiros, Haley Adams, Daniel Brandon, and Panchik. So they do have some athletes there that aren't NOBULL athletes, and I guess they've just selected those based on what jerseys they think they can actually sell, based on popularity, you know, maybe up and coming athletes, maybe veteran athletes. You've got a good mix there. There's 8 athletes there that aren't sponsored that this year will get some kickback from those sales. But what do you think? Do you think they should have just made it all the athletes? Maybe they should have done the survey thing earlier and got a gauge that way. Or are you happy? Do you think this is a step in the right direction and NOBULL is doing a good job? What do you think? That's what really matters, you know, not what I think. And then the last bit of news I can think of that is significant over the last few weeks is Daniel Brandon leaving her coach Justin Kotler and the Underdogs Athletics crew. I don't believe she's announced who she's going to be training under or what squad she's going to be training with, but I have a sneaky suspicion based on who she hangs out with and some posts I've seen that it's probably going to be brute strength. Yes, she had a training camp at HWPO recently, but I don't think that means anything as far as who's going to be a coach going forwards. But yeah, I hope this little breakup doesn't affect her CrossFit Games experience this year. I don't think it will. I think she'll probably use it as fuel for the fire, and we'll see an even more dangerous DB. I'm excited, man, for her performance this year. I can't wait to see her unleash the beast. Guys, I will be at the games this year. I can't wait to see some of your faces. Make sure if you spot me, just yell out. Just come see me. I would love to meet you. So please, please, please do that. I know there's been an ask for merch for the games. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I just wasn't ready. I'm thinking about changing to just Raw rather than Raw Love. We can talk more about that, but I'm thinking about just changing the brand slightly. We can still make Raw Love shirts, but I feel like Raw is just something that'll apply to a wider market. It's a bit of a simpler brand, and you can apply that word raw to so many other areas of life, as well as love, obviously. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in the future, but no merch for the games this year. By saying that, I am bringing a couple of suitcases filled with LSKD gear just to give out for free. I'll be in Madison a couple of days before the games. Maybe we'll do some meetups, just give out some free gear, and then I'll be carrying some gear with me throughout the games as well. So again, come and see me and I'll hook you up. I've got shorts, I've got booty shorts, I've got shirts, singlets, all sorts, hats. Yeah, so just come and see me and I'll hook you up with some free stuff. My tribe, thank you for being here. Make sure you jump in the comments and let me know all your thoughts about all the things. And make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, join the tribe. You stay sexy, keep roaring love, and I'll see you soon. Mwah.